Hello and welcome to ThePrintPod, our daily podcast. My name is Tarini, and the opinion of the day is the Great Nicobar project doesn't contribute to national security, it just affects nature. It is written by Amitabh Dubey, who is a member of the Congress party. All hell broke loose after the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, visited Great Nicobar Island and made a video criticizing the massive deforestation that will result from the building of a container transshipment port, airport, and power plant project. Expectedly, self-appointed nationalists accused the opposition of hindering development and undermining national security, seeking to drown out reasonable discussion of costs and benefits. This whining could not be more off the mark. The reality is that the project for the holistic development of Great Nicobar Islands has marginal military utility. Why do I say this? Because I did something shocking. I read the actual project documents. Search for the terms defense, military, naval, or dual use in the January 2023 expression of interest document about the transshipment project, and you get nothing. The March 2021 Environmental Impact Assessment Report only mentions a defense apron at the Associated International Airport, stating that the defense area will be 5.6% of the total. The November 2022 Environment Clearance says that any defense facilities will be restricted to the western tip of Galathea Bay. It's what some people call a nothing burger. Those raging at the Congress party for opposing national security should realize that Congress governments built much of the defense infrastructure in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, including INS Bars in Great Nicobar. The airfield currently houses helicopters and Dornier DO-228 reconnaissance aircraft, but is being extended to 10,000 feet. It will then be used as a staging point for Su-30 MKI and Jaguar warplanes and P-8 Poseidon reconnaissance aircraft flying east into the Strait of Malacca. The defense facility was built after clearing 45 to 50 hectares of land, and now we are told that a staggering 6,500 plus hectares of priceless old-growth forest are to be cleared for the commercial project. Remember, existing airfields like the INS Kohasa in the Andaman Islands and Air Force Station Car Nicobar can also deploy air power southwards into Malacca. A dual-use commercial airport in Galathea Bay adds very little in military capability but will inflict immeasurable ecological damage. Negligible benefits and costs beyond quantification, not just for the fragile and unique forests and coastlines, flora and fauna, but also for the indigenous people and ways of life. Worthless as all this may be for the greedy, short-sighted dealmakers in Delhi. Now you might be that armchair admiral who says, who cares about the facts? I want it all. So let's hear what actual admirals have to say. Former Navy Chief Admiral Arun Prakash said, there is room to bolster, expand and reinforce the existing military presence and infrastructure without significantly disturbing or disrupting any of the valuable ecological or anthropological assets of the island. He added that islands to the north of Great Nicobar have the potential to be developed for military use. There is a deeper problem that was flagged by the former Chief of Staff, Andaman and Nicobar Command, Rear Admiral Sudhir Pillai. Without essential elements such as a joint command architecture, without the choke point doctrine, without the maritime strategy document that specifies what Great Nicobar is for, he argued, any infrastructure on Great Nicobar Island is a platform without a theory. Can you see the immense folly of all this? Some people fantasize about India throttling Chinese sea lanes of communication by blockading the Strait of Malacca using capabilities apparently housed at the non-military base in Galathea Bay. Edward Fishman, author of the book Choke Points, describes a choke point as a gateway so critical to international trade that blocking it can bring an enemy to its knees. Malacca is hardly a choke point by this standard. Chinese shipping can use the Sunda and Lombok Straits if Malacca is blocked. Indeed, the shallowness of the Malacca Strait means that ships larger than the Malacca max size are already forced to use the Straits of Lombok and Makassar, which in turn will limit the utility of Galathea Bay as a transshipment terminal. And any unilateral military action could also bring India into conflict with Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore and Thailand, which together govern the Malacca Strait. Do we need expanded military capabilities to deal with growing Chinese power? Certainly. Will a transshipment terminal in a civilian airport increase India's ability to choke China economically? Hardly. In fact, there is no guarantee that a transshipment port built at high financial and ecological cost will actually succeed. Galathea Bay is an isolated outpost far removed from other Indian ports and industrial centers, as retired naval officer Abhijit Singh has written. It lacks the connectivity that other transshipment ports like Colombo, Vizhinjam and Vallarpadam in Kerala enjoy. One could argue that this is the private investor's risk to take. But the environmental trade-offs and proposed 12,320 crore government subsidy make this a national, in fact planetary, and not a merely private concern. In short, the Great Nicobar Transshipment Port and Airport project makes practically no contribution to India's national security. Yet it is being sold to the country under the cover of strategic interest. The environmental cost, the islanders' united appeals, and the wider opposition are being disregarded, even as huge subsidies are proposed for the Modi government's cronies. It is the duty of the opposition and all responsible citizens of this country to oppose this act of pure destruction. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to catch our flagship podcast, Cut the Clutter, with our founder and editor-in-chief, Shekhar Gupta. For more from The Print, become a subscriber at theprint.in/subscribe. I'm Tarini in Delhi. Tune in every day for more such news and analysis.